All righty, here we are. Another episode of RJ's Lives, and we're starting a little bit early today because Tony requested it. He said, "What are we waiting for? You're waiting for this." So how are you guys doing? Happy to see everybody here in the talk box. We got about 10 or 12 people that are in here. We got all kinds of folks in there. So welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you guys are all here. Again, we have our returning panel. We have Gunslinger Cal. We have Tom from Knife Delights and Terry's Knives and Man Stuff. And Terry requested this week's kind of starting topic or whatever, which is going to be the small but mighty knives, the ones that are 3 inches and under. So we'll talk about that. But I did have a couple of things that I wanted to talk about from earlier this morning. And so this will kind of go off topic, but I caught just a little bit of the knife or Thrifty Kniffy and Slip Joint Sawyer show. And so I was kind of interacting there, and I had a couple good questions in the chat room. They were talking about case trappers and buck 110s, and yeah, we like those too. Yeah, so I thought, well, let's talk about that. He had a question because they were talking about modern versus traditional knives, and so the question came up about the good old case trapper, and was this a modern knife? Was it built just for collecting and stuff, or what kind of a traditional it was? So Tobias Gibson, I think, had the best video on that, and he went through the case history, and these were here. I'll bring it up full screen so everybody can take a look. So these were made back in around 1920. They were kind of marketed as a knife that won the West, or one that the trappers, the mountain men and stuff might have brought with them. And we know that that's not historically true. You do have a nice clip point blade, and you got a nice spay blade on here. So it is actually a really good hunting knife. It's also a great EDC knife. And most days, if you don't see me with a large Stockman, I probably got a full-size trapper on me. It's just a great knife to have. And they were saying, was it built just for collecting? And I don't think it was built just for collecting, but because it has this nice long area that you can put handle material in. This is the yellow Delrin. Of course, there's the jigged bone and smooth bone and the Kieranite and all the other ones. And then I even have the one that I took on, that I did a video on Friday. So this is that DLT exclusive single blade trapper with the natural micarta handle. I mean, just a absolute lovely knife. They did make some variations and stuff, but the traditional pattern, of course, is your 2-blade version. But I thought we'd kind of go around, talk to everybody here on the panel and see what they say. I think it kind of just fell into being a knife that they said, let's do the billboarding and the holiday knives and the other stuff that they do with the trapper was that way. But I don't think it was designed on purpose as a commemorative type knife. I think it was built as a using knife. Or at least that's what Tobias said. He said it was a pattern that wasn't selling very well, and the marketing department kind of revitalized it, talked about it, gave it a name that it didn't really deserve, but then it took off in everyone's imagination, and they sell more of those every year than probably any other pattern that they make. You got one there, Terry? Did you want to show it?
Yeah, I can show this one.
Yeah, let me bring it full screen, and we'll see what's your take on that stuff.
This one right here is the case brown bone with the arrowhead shield, and very, very popular. And I'm not so up on the history like that, and I've seen the same videos that you guys have seen with Tobias, and I love when he does those videos like that, and lets us know what's going on. I think he's pretty spot on most of the time. But as far as usability, me personally, it's a very, very useful knife. I've been seeing family members and people carry these knives all my life. and very iconic knife. And I also believe that exactly what you're saying is correct too, that over time, these have become, for a lot of people, strictly collector's knives, because a lot of people, because they are used and have been used for years and years for billboard knives. A lot of these knives are used by companies, different things like that, event knives and stuff like that, because they have so much room.
Yes.
I mean, you'll see. Well, as a matter of fact, I was just watching SMKW's YouTube channel the other day, and Maury was on there and all. And every year Case does these Christmas knives. I think they got like
Yes.
4 of them this year,
Right.
and this is the knife they use, because on a lot of those Christmas knives they do 2 shields, one at the bolster and one at the cap end. They do design work on both blades, and I mean, what else? When you got that much blade, you got that. I mean, Lord, you can just about write supercalifragilisticexpialidocious across it.
Better
Uh,
believe
so,
it.
you know what I'm saying. So I believe a lot of that's true. Now, the knife that won the West, we were all talking before we went live, and I believe Tom was 100% right. These knives didn't have anything to do with winning the West. We all know that was, that was fixed blades and swords,
Right.
and all of that.
Exactly.
But all that being said, I truly enjoy these knives. Got one in my pocket I've been carrying all week long. There was a gift to me from RW, and I have several of
Nice.
them. They're good knives.
Yep. I'll bring you up, Cal, but just to echo that, I've been carrying a trapper now for about at least the last month that my wife gifted to me.
Absolutely.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Just my little bit of 2 cents. My granddad and my dad, we used to have cow chutes, and my whole life growing up, we worked cows, and this is the knife that they did use to castrate cows, or the bulls, I should say, and one just like this, yellow Delrin handled spade blade, and I mean, I remember it numerous years, them cutting them things off with that knife right there. But this is my prize trapper right here. It's a fighting rooster.
That's a beautiful knife.
Absolutely.
And stag, and yeah, the bottom of it is pretty ridiculous how thick it is on that back side, not the show side, but has an extremely large spay, lots of belly.
That's nice. It almost looks like it could be a spear point, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, with the bomb shield.
Yeah.
Or the corn, Tom.
The corn.
That's all.
Okay. Sorry,
Yeah,
I didn't mean to.
right.
I didn't mean to be late. I was trying to hit the talk box too.
And so everybody knows that's watching, I'm on my phone, so I can't see the talk box. And I apologize for that, but I do want to thank everybody, tell everybody hello.
All right. Well, that is awesome. And they all say hello back, Terry, because we got a bumper crop, man. We got like 32 people already. This is awesome.
Cool.
And everyone, the talk box is just going on. That is great. Hey, Byron, that's great. Okay, let's go ahead, Tom. Let's go with you.
Well, I'll switch gears just a little bit.
Okay.
This is a knife. It's a pattern that has been replicated. So this is a replica, but this is a replica of a knife that Union soldiers were known to carry during the Civil War. And it was made by Union Cutlery, which was started in about 1854. So a typical slip joint knife made back then is going to look just about like this. And they even kept with the crude fit and finish on this knife being a replica. because they didn't care about fit and finish back then. You can see gapping. You can see the grind on it's not real good, but it's a functional knife. So a single-bladed knife, something like this, or perhaps even a, what am I trying to think of? Oh, goodness. Well, live TV, I'm blowing it right here. What am I trying to think of? Came from England in the 1600s. Okay, never mind.
Anyone?
You're gonna laugh when I remember what I'm trying to think of.
It's okay. We got time, Tom. We got
time. I'll
time.
Figure it out. Yeah, but anyway.
Oh,
so this is kind of what a knife from back in the mid 1800s would look like.
We're getting comments. People are wanting to know where they can get a knife like that. So let's tell them where they can get one. I know you told me before.
Barlow. That's what I'm trying to think of.
There you go.
The Barlow pattern was around also. Where can you get this one?
Yes. The folks.
I bought this from a website. I'll have to look it up. I can't remember the name of the website. And I don't know if they have any more in stock or not. I got this a couple years ago.
Something Sutler? I forget.
It might have been something Sutler, yes.
Let me see if I can find it.
The bunny knife's pretty old too, ain't it?
It was made.
I'm not sure about that one.
Oh, it was in Kansas. The place was in Kansas.
Yeah. It was Sutler of Fort Scott.
Sutler of Fort Scott. That's correct. Yep.
Yep. So go to sutleroffortscott.com. And
I'll try to find a link and put it in the comments here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely put a link in there. Bunny knives. I don't have any idea of the history of those, Cal. I know that GEC made that one. I know it's got that history with Australia and the rabbit invasions down there. But then I don't know any more about all that stuff. Twang thanks as you're not in Kansas anymore, Tom.
Yeah. I feel like I am. I'm in the twilight zone.
Tornado picked him up and dropped him off where he is now.
Don't know where my mind is right about now.
All right. Ghost Malone says he's gonna go ahead and head on over there. So definitely happy hunting. I hope they have some in stock for you.
I'm putting the link in right now.
Okay. Well, the other one they had, the other question that was on.
Won't let me put it in there.
Oh, I thought you had all the permissions. Don't you have a wrench next to your name?
No, it puts like 300 characters in there when I try to put the link. And
oh.
You can only have 250 characters in a comment. Let me figure out.
Well, maybe just give them the website, and then they can bury or dig around on there.
Sutler of Fort
Scott.
And they can Google it or whatever.
Can Google it and they can look around. Because who knows, they might find other stuff on that website that they.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of neat stuff there.
And Byron, it was good seeing you in JO's videos and Big J's also. That was awesome, that case event. I went and looked up the case tour after those videos, and the farthest west they go is Missouri. So I don't know what they got to.
Pretty much it for this year too.
Yeah,
I did the same thing. I'm like, I think the closest one to me would probably be Branson, Missouri.
Well, I thought that one in Indiana would be closer to you.
No.
Wow.
Branson's about an 8-hour drive.
They got one.
What's that one in Indiana? How far would that one be in Indiana for you, Tom?
Well, it's about 8 hours to where my in-laws live there in Illinois, and I think it's another 3 to 4 hours past that.
Oh.
So we're looking at 11 and a half, 12 hours.
Wow. Had no idea.
I'm pretty far west.
Yeah. Mike Curtis says there's one more in Florida. So Terry, you're on deck for that one. If maybe I don't know.
I'd love to go. I already looked at it. It's about 4.5 hours from me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, I went up.
It's not too bad, but I already got a date for the 17th, I'll be meeting with the knife doctor on the 17th, and
Right.
there'll be some videos coming from that.
I couldn't get out of Texas in 4.5 hours.
Hey,
You could,
Taylor, I
you could
used
be
to
in
have a truck
Texas
like
for
that
a
too.
couple of days. Tim School of Fish want to know where in Florida, Mike. I know they have Case has a
Lando
website
Lakes.
that talks about where is it?
Lando Lakes.
Oh, Land O'Lakes, Florida. Tim.
Hey, no, that's dairy butter. Land
Yeah,
O'Lakes.
it's that too. You can pick some up while you're down there. Well, the other question deals more with Tom's area of interest, and that would be the Buck 110. And people were asking, is that a modern knife or is that a traditional knife? And the answer is yes.
I'm going to answer it. I've been thinking about that. I guess I would answer it this way.
Well,
I
let
would
me
view
bring you
it.
up full screen.
Okay.
There, Tom. So you can pontificate away.
I will pontificate away. I would say this would be a transitional knife from the vintage knives into the modern era. There were other lockback knives. Buck did not come up with this lockback, but what they did is they very much improved it. So, I mean, if you read some articles, some sort of a lockback goes all the way back to Roman times. So it depends, what era you want to consider to be traditional and not. If in 63, when they first made this, first offered in 64, this would have been a modern knife probably for them. But I think enough years have passed that we can look back and say, no, this still is a traditional knife. It's based on a hunting knife with a very traditional blade to it, clip point blade. So for me, I'm going to consider it to be a traditional knife, but I can see where the argument would be made it's modern. So I think a happy medium is to say it's kind of one of those traditionals that eased us into the modern era.
Yeah, I would say the same. I think that when it came out, it was a modern knife. I
Mhm.
think it certainly launched in a big way the modern era.
Yeah.
And that is a knife that is definitely iconic because every single knife maker all around the world has a copy of the Buck 110. You can find them still in their catalogs. It doesn't matter who the maker is. You can find something that's a variation of a Buck 110 that you can look at it and you can say, yeah, that directly goes back to that knife. They all changed a little bit here and a little bit there, so it's not an exact copy, but it's very much. Oh, hello, somebody who's getting a call.
Hello.
Sorry about that, guys. That's my friend from California that y'all will be getting some information on very, very soon.
Okay. Well, if you want to share it now, you can. If you don't want to, it's okay.
I've already shared it with one person only, and he knows who I'm talking about, but I've got a big announcement coming, but I need to wait till the package gets here to do it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sorry.
Sounds good.
No
I was
worries.
going to say, you got more than one friend in California? I thought I was your only friend in California.
You are the bestest friend in California.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay. It's all smoothed out now.
There you go. I don't want to get fired, Tom.
I'm kind of shocked that RJ has any friends at all.
I have the best friends that money can buy, and you know it.
Hey, good answer, by the way, Tom, on the butt question.
No, thank you.
That was an excellent question. Cal, did you have an opinion on the 110?
No, y'all covered it quite well.
Okay. Terry, did you have anything you'd like to say about it?
I don't have any idea. I've never owned one in my life.
Okay.
I've never carried knives like that.
What's funny about the Buck 110 being an icon is depending on who you talk to, you'll hear some people say it's the greatest piece of cutlery ever invented, all the way to people say, why in the world would you want to carry a boat anchor like that? So it's a wide ranging experience,
Hey,
that's for sure.
All I know is when I was growing up, when you saw a knife pouch on a man's belt, it was a buck knife. I don't care what it was, who made it.
Yep.
They were carrying a buck knife. I
Well, I
mean,
had
It was.
boys-
That's
yeah, I
exactly
had
how
boys on-
iconic it was.
Yeah, I had boys I went to school with that carried them, and swore by them, and we all kind of swooned over them, and
yeah, I think that's why I have a fascination with them now. I went through buck envy growing up, and never could own one. So
There you go.
I do have.
Those
I
old
have
Duke boys.
one. You mentioned other companies copying the Buck 110. I have something similar, to the 112. I would say.
Sure.
I can show that if you like.
yeah, go right ahead.
All right, 1 second.
Oh, what? 1 second comment alert. Mike Curtis, member for 7 months.
Oh, fantastic.
Is
Thank
always
you.
proud to be part of this community.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for being a part of the regiment and being here every week. We appreciate you, my friend. And everybody go check out Mike's channel if you haven't. He's got some of the best shorts in the business.
Absolutely. I think I showed it last week, but this one here,
Oh, yeah. That's
the
nice.
Hennon rooster with the crow's foot bone handles. It's my smoothest action knife, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very nice. That's all.
Sweet.
And thank you.
All right. Well, I guess with all those lingering questions from the previous show out of the way, you want to kick off this week,
Hey,
Terry?
I just thought of something, RJ.
Oh, yeah.
You can watch TK and Slippy to find out the question, and you can come to RJ's live to get the answer. How's that?
There you go.
Well, just maybe, but I thought those were some good questions, and they
were.
required a good answer.
They're good for discussion. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, Terry, did you want to go ahead and go with our segment this week with
sure.
what we got?
Sure. Yeah, we'll get started. We'll start out with this one. Oh, wait a minute, that's the wrong one. That's too big. What we talking about today, y'all, is mini but mighty, 3 inches and under on a pocket knife. Most people, 3-inch knife is probably more than enough, to be quite honest with you. On most days, a 3-inch pocket knife is enough for me. Not that I'm going to do that. More is always better. But what we want to do today is just kind of show, most everybody that carries pocket knives these days is usually going to carry at least 2. They're going to carry a dominant knife and a second carry, or a little gentleman's carrier, something a little different. Me, I carry one of these every day, the little SD Classic.
Yep.
And to be quite honest with you, this is my most used piece of EDC that I own. Just to be quite honest. Using the toothpick, using the scissors, the little file for hangnails and stuff like that. A lot of times opening a bag of potato chips with this blade here, that's the most used piece of EDC that I got. I've got about 5 or 6 of them in different colors and such as all that, you know how we are. We like a bunch of girls. We like to color coordinate, and
accessorize.
There you go, accessorize. And this one. This is not a SD Classic. This is a Finger, which is slightly larger than a SD Classic, just slightly, but which is Victorinox bought out this company and all that. But other than that, pocket knives. I just show a couple real quick, and then I'll turn it back over to some of those guys. So what I want to start out with is this is knives like I remember the older guys carrying when I was coming up, like my papa and some of my older uncles and stuff. And this is a German Soligen made tree brand Boker with the bone handles, and this would be called a pen knife, I guess. You know, the serpentine, kind of the seahorse look. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that snap? That's this little old knife. It got some serious snap ability. But you know, a little seahorse. Let me see. I may measure that one real quick to see. I think it's under 3. No, that one's exactly 3 inch. But you know, back in my time, everybody carried knives like that. Everybody. And when you get into a lot of these you're going to find are going to be older knives. I don't have any idea how to date that knife right there. A lot of those German knives are really hard to date. I'm sure it's from the 50s and 60s is what I would say. Now this one is a PAL cutlery. This is a USA made knife. This dates back to the 20s and 30s. Little single blade. You know, of course, it's, you know, you would call it, you know, by all definitions, supposed to be a jackknife, but most people are going to call it a pen knife. But I mean, even back then, knives had the half stops and this and that. That's got some serious snap ability to it. And like I said, in most cases, those knives are, you know, will do the job. They'll do the job. Let me show one more, RJ, and I'll let somebody else go. This happens to be the smallest knife in my collection. And this little jewel right here is, I think it's about 1 inch. Let me see exactly what it is. It's 1.5 inches. And these little knives right here, most of them were made in Japan. This one's made in Japan. And most of them back in the day, when everybody carried pocket watches, these would be hanging on the chain as a fob on their pocket watches. And I remember an older gentleman that was a farmer that lived down from my mama and papa, and I'll never forget his name. His name was Penny Pinson, and he was 100 years old, you know, back in the 70s, and he always had one of these on his pocket watch chain down in his Liberty overall. You know what I mean, Mike Curtis?
That is awesome. And speaking of Mike Curtis, thank
Cool
you, Mike.
knife,
I so appreciate you doing a super chat like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Awesome.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Yep, we just appreciate you so much, Mike. You're such a great guy and everything. And just because I know you do, I got my case peanut too. But we'll talk about that. Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
Cool knives,
Well,
Terry.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
We still show it because I gotta go grab a couple other knives right now. So please take it
Okay.
away for a second.
Okay. Well, someone just asked in the comments, Addicted to Blades 2 asked, is this a gumball machine knife? And I've been wondering, I've got this little one here. And it's probably very similar to what the one Terry just showed. There's no tang stamp on it anywhere. So I don't know where it was made. But I'm glad you asked that question because I was wondering, it seems to me they used to sell these little knives in the gumball machines where they'd have the prizes and the little plastic bubble things. And one of the little prizes would be a little tiny knife like this. Now, I believe this knife belonged to either my grandmother or grandfather. I have my grandfather's case knife, and according to my aunt, this came from their things too. So I don't know if my grandma maybe had this in her purse or maybe grandpa carried it too. I don't know. But yeah.
Is it pink?
It's pink.
I have one identical to that.
Yeah. And it's got the kind of the wide, how do you want to describe it? The wide, thick
Lanyard, yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice.
yeah,
Tail
pretty
on it.
cool. Now, Terry started out with a multi-tool, and RJ banned me from showing multi-tools,
I
but
did. I
since
did
Terry
not.
showed one off the get-go, I'm going to show my multi-tool.
Did no such thing.
This is an Imperial from their Jackmaster line, which came out in the 50s, and this was called the Jackmaster All-Purpose Knife,
That's
and
cool.
it's got 6 blades to it. So it's got for cutting blades, you got the clip point there, and then you got a pen blade here. Of course, you got your cap lifter. You always had to have a cap lifter back in them days. And I think this utensil here, this blade here, it seems weird, but these used to be on gentlemen's knives, and I think that's for cleaning your ears out with. And then you got your corkscrew and your can opener, and of course the cap lifter with the little screwdriver on it. So, and got the bombshell or the bomb shield on it. That's an Imperial Jackmaster, all-purpose knife.
Very nice. Just like you, an all-purpose producer. There you go. Perfect. And what was it? You want to talk about multi-tools? Is that what you said? Multi-tools? No.
You banned me from talking about them.
I'd never ban you. This is a free speech zone.
Oh,
and
come
this
on
ain't a
now.
place for
Come
my
on
friends.
now. Oh, let me know in the comments, who do you believe? Me or RJ? He banned me. Everyone remembers our show on multi-tools.
Nobody is banned on this program. You can just let it fly. Go ahead,
He
Cal.
was mad because you lost his knife.
And he
No, I
welded
just
it up,
broke
though,
the-
really nice.
I just allegedly broke the tip off his blade. Allegedly.
You're right. Well, it's okay. You were acquitted. It's all right.
Here's my knife that is identical to Tom's. Mine says
yeah.
MP Co. Japan on it. I don't know if you can still read anything on yours, Tom.
I can't. Yours is in better shape.
Yeah, the color in it is actually still quite well. And it has the wide little lanyard loop like his. But yeah, this was my grandmother's knife. This was passed down to my mother, and she's been generous enough to give it to me. And I don't know who made this one, and I have another one that's almost identical to this one. It is, other than the color. But it starts off with the letter P and then a whole bunch of numbers. And
That's probably the patent number on it, maybe.
yeah, that's what I was figuring. But there is no name on it, unfortunately. So I have that one. It's darker than pearl, so I don't think it's like imitation pearl, unless it's just. I know these are all celluloid knives. This pink one and this one as well, and this one. So this one could be gassing. It's starting to get some weird brown colors in here, which I know is a pretty good sign of that.
Yeah.
But this one here, this one has like copper flakes in it, and this one is really, really pretty in my opinion, with like it's red background or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And it has real copper flakes in there. That is really cool. But same little knife with the lanyard loop for all those watches on keychains. And then I have a handmade half whittler that I've shown before with bone handling.
Neat. That is neat.
It was custom made for my mother, and I do have a tape measure on. I think I got y'all beat on the size, and I am maybe not. I'm right at 1 inch and 3/16.
Yeah.
Close. So
Oh gosh, now you got to make me get a measuring tool, Cal.
she's pretty small. It's definitely smaller than these knives.
How big was yours closed?
1 3/16 on the dot.
Okay, yeah, you got me beat. This is
Mine's
like
an inch and a half.
this is 1 5/8 for my babyest baby of all the babies.
That is all my miniature tiny knives.
Hey, we have a comment alert.
Okay,
Did you see El Phoenix's comment?
I did. He was a member for 11 months. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
would you read it out loud? What his
I
comment
would.
was?
Let me go back to it. Let's see here. He said, like this video if Tom should have freedom of speech. And I agree with that. Tom, you need freedom of speech all the time. Okay, so Jess says, Kaylin, the patent number will tell you the company and the years that it was in effect. And then I don't know if you saw Ken's comment, Tom, about that ear cleaner. He said he thinks that's for your cuticles.
No, yeah, but I've got some other gentlemen's knives that have that and a cuticle thing on it, both. So
I'll
have to look and see.
I would not stick that thing in my ear. I'd be scooping.
That's what I thought. Hey, Big J just joined us.
Oh, all right, Big J.
What's
How
up,
you
Big
doing?
J?
Yep,
See you
and
in a little bit.
KC from Knives Fast is listening in the car, and he was talking about he got that QSP exclusive from Traditional Pocket Knives, the QSP Hedgehog, and he said it's phenomenal. He likes that. All right, Twang Thing just gifted an RJ's Knives membership. Who did that go to, Tom?
That went to Jess Milliken.
Nice.
Congratulations, Jess.
Yeah, so send me an email, Jess, rjsknives@gmail.com, and I'll send you out some channel stickers for being part of the regiment. So fantastic. All right, so let's get my tiniest knife, which is this little guy here. And it doesn't have it's got a little lanyard hole. It doesn't have that. And it's got a little notch for your fingernail to get in to open it up. But just a little slip joint. It's a cool little knife.
That is neat.
Yep, it's just a little baby. Like I said, I had to measure it real quick, and it's at 1 5/8 closed. But this will take care of a lot of stuff: opening packages, opening mail, or whatever. When you talk about the classic SD, I carried one of these, and I still carry it. I have one on every keychain, except for the one that I use at work, and that's because I moved up to the Rambler version. And the difference with the Rambler is that the blades open away from the key ring. So you got your main blade opens away, and your scissors also open away from that. And I think I find that to be a more usable design. You still get that nail file, but then you get this other tool that is a combo tool. So you have a little, I don't know if it'll show, it's a Phillips head driver on the end. And so then you have a little cap lifter and a little wire bender. But I find this to be a really good upgrade. If you like the classic SD, try a Rambler. You probably won't go back, and you still get your toothpick and your tweezers. But this was a comment from oh gosh, in our chat box. It was Cohen is who suggested I try the Rambler, and I thank him for that, because that was a really good move for me. The other one from the chat box was Mike Curtis talking about the Case Peanut all the time, and I finally had to break down and see what one was all about. And these are a little Mighty Mite. I love it. My only regret is I don't have more peanuts. Did we grind to a halt, Byron? We're just getting started. And this it's got a nice size pen blade on it too. So anyways, besides those, I guess I'll show one more. Of course, the little Rough Rider, the Cub lockback, just a fantastic little knife. I like the little finger choils on there, so you get a really good hold on this thing. And this little blade is stout, a little bit thick, and will definitely get you through your day. It's everything you need and nothing that you don't. Hey, JB, good morning to you too. All right, so I'll let you guys go. All right, you ready?
Go ahead, Terry.
Okay, Terry. All right, we'll go with Terry. All right, go ahead, sir.
Y'all didn't think y'all was gonna get out of seeing a Stockman, did you?
What? On Sunday?
Yes, 2 3/4 inch Stockman, and this is a Japan made, and it's spelled Gescut. I don't know if it's Just Cut or Guess Cut. I found a couple, and the best I could date it was like from the 60s, maybe 50s, but definitely 60s. I picked this up at a yard sale not too long ago. I think I give $3 for it or something other like that. And it just says right there, it just says, I'm gonna say it's probably pronounced Guess Cut, maybe Just Cut. Then on the main blade back here, it says 17. I could find a couple on eBay, you know, that people were bidding on or whatever, but as far as dating, it was from the 60s. But, you know, any of this stuff that come out of Japan during those years is really good stuff. This thing has awesome snap to it. I like the little, you know, not necessarily a sheep's foot, it's more of a coping blade, really, on one this size. And I want you to look at that. Got a sharpening choil and everything. It's well made little knife. Even has hash stops of some sort, not where the small blades do, the big blades don't. But that's pretty neat right there. And let's see, I got one more of the small Stockmans, and this is a USA made Camco, which is the stepchild of the Camillus. This one dates from the 50s, possibly 60s. Excellent little knife. There again, when we talk about, mighty minis, most people can live with a knife like this forever,
Oh yeah.
If the truth be told. Excellent little knives.
Yeah, Terrell Schneider left a comment there, Terry, saying he thinks that Gesco and Guess Cut are saber knives.
Okay.
So that's maybe help you out a little bit.
Yeah, well, good, Terry. That's good to know. Then that means that it goes all the way back to Colonial.
Yeah.
Because Colonial is the ones that imported the saber. So that's great. That's good to know. Thanks, Terry.
All right, Tom.
Well, Tobias Gibson also did an excellent video on gentleman's knives, and he believes for a gentleman's knife to truly be called a gentleman's knife, it has to have a pair of scissors on it. Well, this one does. They're folded up here. I'm not going to pull them out. It's kind of delicate. Some of the things were broke. I've already broke one blade off, so I don't want to pull them out. You can see the scissors right there. But so this is sterling silver, the frame here. So then you've got your pen blade here. And then I got to be careful with this. And then right here, this is sharpened right here. This is unsharpened here, but then there's a file here. Now, I don't know if this is a corn blade or not for trimming your, cutting your corns off on your feet, because there's another blade right here, and this one is sharpened here too. So I don't know why the two little blades like that. But then again, we have this little thing that looks like a cup, which I believe is for earwax. Or no, maybe maybe that's for earwax, but it also had this one, and this is the one I broke off. It was on the bottom, and I tried to straighten it so it'd fold down right, and it snapped right off, unfortunately. I think this is for the cuticles. So, but I don't know. It's hard to say.
I don't know either. I'm glad that they're growing cotton down there.
Yeah.
Terry, so we can get Q-tips and stuff.
Yeah. But these were all, called gentleman's knives or grooming knives. And a lot of men just carried a grooming knife with them.
It's a very interesting knife.
Yeah. It was made in Japan. They are sterling silver covers. There's the tang stamp, there's like a Thunderbird on there, and then it says Japan underneath it. But I have not been able to find out who made it.
Oh my. That is crazy. Terry says he has a buddy who cleans his ear with a 6-penny nail. All I can say is if you're gonna do that, you got to stay up on your tetanus shots. All right, Cal. Let's see what you got there.
I have a 1970 Peanut. It is an extremely mighty mini, in my opinion. And these things have incredible snap on them for being such a small knife. Great shape to the blade. Got a swedge there on that side. It's flat on this side. One of these days I'll upgrade my camera so y'all can actually see what I'm talking about. And this one actually has a coping blade on it, which I thought was really cool, making it even more capable, in my opinion, than just the pin blade.
Yeah.
But yeah, even that blade there has, it's ridiculous. But yeah, 1970. Tom over at Knife Delights ended up sending me a thank you for what I sent him, and I about fell over when I got it out of the mail. Just way outdone yourself there, in my opinion. But he sent me this 1920s to 1940s case penknife. There's the stamp there, and thank you, Tom. Man, this was perfect timing for this video, and I don't have anything like this. It appears, I guess this is celluloid,
Tom.
Probably so, yes.
Okay, yeah. So I have a few celluloid knives, so it's perfect for my collection. Thank you very much. Awesome.
You're very welcome.
It's got 2 pin blades on it, so fitting for a pen knife, I would say.
Wow, Twang Thing just gifted another membership to the regiment. Who got that one, Tom?
Don C. Congratulations, Don.
All right, Don. Very good. Very cool. Tony's Ponies had a question for us. He wanted to know if any of us had beard knives. I think only Tom has one.
I have a modified beard knife.
I generally use scissors to trim mine, and I got some clippers that take care of the rest when I need it. Yeah, so, but you guys want to talk about beards? We can do that too.
I have some information.
Okay.
So I'm reading an article online, and that is that That blade on that knife is called an ear spoon. And it says, her grooming introduced me to the ear spoon, a long-handled curette, also known as an ear pick, ear picker, or ear scoop, that is a common implement in Asian households.
Wow.
But if you Google ear cleaning kits, you'll see several attachments in there, and in those attachments, you'll see an ear spoon in there. So it is a thing. And no, Zen Ali, I'm not going to demonstrate.
And
Not a thing for me.
yep, me either.
We have another membership gifted here.
Yes, sir.
So Big Red EDC, thank you so much, sir.
Yep.
And
thank you,
Gonzo, you received a
JP.
membership.
Nice. All right, you guys know what to do. Give me an email over at rjsknives@gmail.com, and I will send you out some channel stickers.
So, serious question though. What is considered a beard knife?
Well, you know, I don't have a beard.
I've never heard of a beard knife.
I never heard of one. I've always used scissors, you know, trimming scissors.
I don't want no knife nowhere around my beard.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
You missed it here, Terry. A few months ago, I had to trim my beard off for my new job. But did you see that? Trimmed off my beard with my 112.
Just a bystander.
Yeah. One of these days we're gonna have to go.
As a comb.
We got Joe Messer HQ in the house.
Hey, Joe. Glad to see you're here. Yeah, I guess one day we're gonna have to come up with a greatest hits video. Tom, we'll have to edit up a bunch of our old ones, and we'll put that in there. You're trimming your beard with a knife.
Yeah, Terry, they wondered what took so long, and you're right. I didn't want that sharp blade near my neck.
The best I remember, I was watching that day when you done that, and I think you were doing it with a buck knife, so it really wasn't all that sharp.
Oh.
Well, it was in need of a touch up before, but then after going through all them wires, it for sure needed it.
You'll excuse me for just a minute, RJ. That
my
hurt.
gosh,
That hurt.
hurt his feelings.
I'll try to win you back.
Yep, there you go. I think this is true. Byron hit it on the head, Tom.
Yeah, I see that.
This is the beard naff.
Nice.
That is true.
You want to see
All
some more
right.
now?
Yeah, let's bring you up full screen and
Just gonna run through a couple here. Got another pen knife. This one is a 1994, and it's got your standard clip point and your standard pen knife. This is a 6233 in stainless steel, and she is right at 2 5/8 closed. So this one is in brown Delrin. I have a few of these. I like these 90s. I know they still make these, but I really like these brown ones. I have a 1988 6333. This one was a 6233 in green bone. And I've noticed the 87s and the 88s had that silver, very, very shiny shield. And this one came with great pull. It's got the, well, you can't see it, but it has the 2 dots. And it has the, man, might need to oil that one. It's got the SS on the tang stamp, making it stainless steel. And this one is actually, I think they double stamped the 6 because it has, and it's not a G, because I have seen some of the Tangs Mark GR for the green bone, but this one has 663033, which I didn't even realize until just now. So usually there's not 2 6s at the first. So if anybody has any info on that other than just a double stamp, I would appreciate the info. And we have the SS there on the pin blade. Collecting these 88s, and if I can find them in green bone, I'm especially picking those up because I believe that is my favorite color in bone now. Got this satin rose jackknife serpentine with easy open for the pin blade. Really like the satin rose. I only have one, unfortunately. I've got my eye on a couple more. 47 pattern, and I can't remember what the other one was off the top of my head, but like I was saying, with the green bone, they mark GR. For the satin rose, they mark SR on these right before the number, and this one is SR 62027 on the pin blade. And this knife has incredible snap. Little California clip there, and really great, capable miniature knife. This one's a little bit bigger. This is a very old Imperial with bone covers, and it has the lanyard there. It's got the easy open on both sides for the main blade, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's different.
This one has the, I mean, I guess you'd call it a spear point, but it's just a giant pin blade, in my opinion. It's not really, the spear's not centered or anything, but it still might be considered a spear. What would y'all say?
That looks like a modified spay.
Modified spay, indeed. Allegedly. Allegedly. You're double safe with throwing in alleged. And this one's definitely a pen knife. It's got USA stamped there in big letters on that one. But I found this at an estate sale, and it was extremely cheap. And something about these old bone covers, you just got to grab them when you see them, you know, especially most of the time they're extremely cheap. Like I said, this one is Imperial.
Joe from Messer HQ is saying that's a World War II knife.
Really?
Yep. And Tom from Knife Delights is going to answer your question there, Casey. But,
well, that's awesome, and I appreciate that info there.
Yeah, he says it's a Navy General utility knife. Wow.
So, I'm going to have to look into that. I appreciate that info.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That makes it double cool, doesn't it?
That makes it way cooler, in my opinion.
Yeah, heck yeah. You're muted there, Tom.
No, I'm not muted.
Okay. Go ahead.
I got it just in time. This is not probably the best example. Let me see, hold it this way so it looks right to the viewers. But a California clip, if it's held right, if the shape of the blade, if you hold it like that, it looks like the state of California.
Yeah, so
and that's why it's called a California clip.
Because he's driving and listening. So if the knife is held tipped down and you follow that curve, it kind of looks like the shape of the state of California.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And just so you know, Kalen, we normally don't show California clips on this show because RJ wants to lick them, and it causes cancer. So
I only lick them to make sure what the Rockwell hardness is. That's it.
Yeah. Everybody suffers for that warning label on the knife box because of RJ, right? That cancer warning's all because of RJ. Oh, all right, Terry. You want to see a little Stockman? There's a little Stockman.
Absolutely.
That's a Frontier. And that's Frontier was a line of knives by Imperial. And they were kind of their more upgraded versions of knives. And this is in charcoal. I think it's Delrin, but it's called charcoal line. And the shield there, let me see if I can get it there. There's a little powder horn. And then on the tang stamp, if I can get it, I don't know how well that's coming in, but it says Frontier, and then there's a powder horn on it. So, nice little antique knife, probably from the 70s or so, somewhere in there.
Pretty amazing when you start talking about antique knives, and it's the kind of knife that you carried as a kid.
Exactly,
That's
yeah.
right. Well, whoever thought that the music we listened to as kids would be piped over in a grocery store either? So
On the oldie station.
yeah, that's the other one that hurts.
You know you're getting old when the music you grew up with is on the oldie station.
Absolutely. Well, here you go. I have a small Stockman to share also for you, Terry. This is a little anvil knife, and this is a USA made anvil Stockman. This is the small Stockman. This is my brother-in-law's Boy Scout knife. He found it in a drawer and was not doing so good, and I cleaned it all up for him and said, "Here you go. You want it back?" He's like, "Nah, you keep it." I was like, "Okay." It's a sweet little knife. Let's see if it has any snappability left. Nope, that one don't. That one does. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one, this is also a USA made one. You know, a trapper's got to be in here somewhere. This is the Old Timer Generational Series trapper, and this is under 3 inches. And this is was made by Bear & Son for Old Timer, so it has the saw cut bone scales and or covers, and then it's got the carbon, the 1095 blades. So nice little pretty knife that they made, although it doesn't follow the 94 OT pattern exactly, because this is much smaller than your general 94 OT. But since we were doing small but mighty knives, definitely a small trapper fits in there.
Didn't even know they made that one.
Yep, they did. So it's part of that OTG line. So
Hey, Tom, hit him with that mighty trapper, that mini mighty trapper.
Uh-oh. What are you saying there, Tommy?
Oh, he might be muted this time.
He is. He's muted hard.
Okay, that's mighty.
And now we're back to the show.
I had it sitting there. I was going to show it.
All
There
right.
it is.
Here we go.
Buck knife. Now the show's beginning.
Okay. Here we go.
Look at that red bone. Woo! Strawberry.
Cool.
You could eat it up. Yum, yum. But I would never send this to RJ because he would be licking on it.
I probably would.
Thank you, Master.
It looks like dessert.
Thank you very much, Master.
Right?
Yep. Now, I do have a question. Talon, I was busy doing other things when you were showing that Navy General Utility knife.
Yes, sir.
Is that a 3-bladed knife?
It is a 2-bladed knife. It is a jackknife.
2-bladed. Okay, because Big J sent me an USA Army Engineers knife, and I think it was a 3-bladed. Maybe it was 4.
And this is a swell end
Okay.
jackknife.
Okay. So while we're talking about high quality knives here, I'll show another buck. This is one of the little bantams.
We only have high quality knives on here, Tom.
And of course, you got that nice lock back there, which, Buck really perfected the lock back, Everybody copied them, but only Buck does them right. So.
My goodness. Was that it?
That's it. You can end the show now.
Okay,
two
so
buck knives.
Big J says,
run the credit.
The one he sent was a cigar pattern 4-tool knife in Rogers bone pre-43. That was a sweet knife.
I was asking because when I was researching that, they talked about a Navy general utility knife also. And I don't know if they made it a 4-bladed one also or just the 2-bladed one. I don't know. But that's cool that you have that, Kalen. That's a cool knife.
Yeah, I got it yesterday, and I did not realize what I had picked up. I just the handles called to me, so
yeah,
that's really cool to know the history on that. I mean,
yeah, absolutely,
definitely makes it special.
Yeah,
that's in good shape for coming through the war. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, Tony's Ponies. He's got to go, so we'll see you next weekend. I hope.
See you, Tony.
Have a good one.
Tony.
And yeah, thanks, Big J, for sending that to me to review. That was an awesome piece of history to be able to hold on to in your hand, and what a great knife he got.
And he cleaned it up. It looks so good. You did a fantastic job on that.
Yep.
Big J. That was a fantastic thing. All right. Well, since you want to see small buck knives, I do have a small quality buck knife. This one is no longer made, but this is the Buck Workman. This little small lockback, and this was a knife that I carried quite a bit when I was working in a warehouse way back in the day. So this was my main blade for quite a while. I have several of these little small lockbacks because they're just so handy, and they do, like Terry said, this takes care of probably 90% of what you'll ever need for your day-to-day stuff. That is great. Joe says the bone is a Rogers bone on that knife, Kalen. So
wow,
that is really cool. But having shown that old timer, we'll definitely have to show the little pal, the 12OT. This definitely is a California clip blade. Let me see if I can get a dark background. There you go.
Beat me to it.
That definitely would show you a California clip point.
But it's backwards to the audience, RJ.
Turn it around.
Okay,
there you go.
It was the right way to me.
It's all that matters.
It's all perspective. But yeah, this is just a really cool little knife, and definitely one that you can take with you. The Uncle Henry version I have here as well, which is the Rhodey, which I think is a fantastic name for a knife. Same blade, different handles. So you have the Uncle Henry shield. You got that nice little bail or shackle, whatever you want to call it, there on the end. So just a fantastic little knife. It's a little bit wider in the handle than the PAL. So if you like a little more meat to hold on to, that's a good one. I have one more. This is the Mighty Mite, which is which model? I always forget this. This is the 18OT. So it's a small, but it has a liner lock on it, as you can see there. So just a small little fifth pocket knife. You can get 3 fingers on it, but just a really nice little blade, and the fact that it locks in place is always a bonus. Nice little shape to the frame there. So that's it for this go round.
I used to have one of those Buck Workmans, and probably when I was 11 or 12, but I lost it along the way somewhere.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Casey says he needs to make sure to design a knife with a California clip, but make it too big or automatic or something where it gets outlawed in California. Well, I can tell you if it's an automatic, it will be. If it's a balisong, it will be. But as far as the length of the blade, what's so funny about California is they don't really care about the length of the blade. They care about what, so you can have an automatic only if it's less than 2 inches, but you can carry a Buck 119 on your hip all day long and nobody cares. So None of these laws make sense. They just are what they are. So yeah, I don't know. None of it makes sense. And Cheetle Juice is here. Wow, I don't know what happens if you say that 3 times. What happens? I don't know if I want to find out.
Kind of scary.
It is. Well, Halloween just passed, so. All right, who wants to go next? It'd be Terry. Okay.
Bye, Tom.
I need to make up with Tom.
Oh,
Can
you really?
Well, got to kind of smooth it over anyway.
I hear you.
The little Buck 375 Deuce. It's a dandy little knife.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it is. Sweet Pea bought me this knife many years ago. Probably 10, 12, 15 years ago. And I carried it as a secondary knife for several years. These little things right here has got decent little snappability to them, and but don't cut me. But this little old coping blade on these is really handy for cleaning out a fingernail, pulling out a I carried a knife like this long before I ever started carrying SD classics to pull a splinter out or anything like that. But it's dandy little knives, little wood handles. Just a perfect little gentleman's knife.
Yeah, that is sweet.
Now I have one right here that's this is a Boker USA. I don't know if it'll show up or not, but it's Boker USA, little jackknife, and this little knife I just love. It's amazing that the snap retention and everything that these things have on them. These little small knives. This is pretty awesome.
Yes,
and,
it is.
It's just amazing just how handy they can be. They really are. I don't carry them like I used to now that I carry an SD Classic, but for years and years I carried a knife like this every day. Mighty Minis.
That's exactly what they are.
That's exactly what they are. Let me show one more, and then I'll let somebody else out. Now, this one I'm about to show you was my main carry for probably 5-6 years. Back in the 90s, and I'm raising kids, and during these years, you don't buy knives.
Right.
I'm not buying knives. But this was my daily carry for 5 or 6 years. And this is an old Imperial peanut style 3-inch knife and the scales are like aluminum. And these are truly scales. These are truly scales because these are the ones that snap in right here and go all the way down and snap in here. They talk about integral and all of that. Now this is an integral scale.
Right.
You can use a screwdriver and pull that up and take the bolsters, the handles, the shield, and everything comes off.
Right.
But these knives are excellent. Half stops. The tank stop on this tells us that this knife was made from 46 to 88. And there's a reason why they sell a lot of these and a lot of peanuts. When we were doing pocket dumps at the Case event, the first thing Mike Curtis pulls out of his pocket was a peanut. He in fact carries a peanut every day, among 3 or 4 more, but he carries a peanut every day. And for, like I said, 5-6 years, and when I first got this knife, it was almost brand new, looking, and I've sharpened it and used it quite a bit over the years.
Yeah.
This is a special knife in my personal collection just because of I used it for so many years.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, those shell covers are pretty interesting. I have a few knives that have those, and they are, I guess that was a cost saving thing they did back in the 50s and 60s and stuff, you know.
Right.
But yeah, really good stuff. I see you got a knife there, Cal. Let's go ahead and check that out.
Yeah, I showed this one maybe a week or two ago. This is a K6208 pattern with the humpback there. What are these called? The half whittler?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But can't remember the exact name for them. I know somebody will help me out. Has a great clip point there. This one's a little damaged. Needs some spring work. The blade won't open all the way, and it won't close all the way either.
Oh, wow.
She just wants to hang out right there for some reason. But the pin blade, it works fantastic. Has quite a bit of mirror still on that side. Oh yeah, but excellent snap on this one. Unfortunately, which I plan on, I'm going to take it apart. It is a 1970, so got to be pretty careful. And yeah, do some work on that. Try to get the spring redone, and might have to.
All right, JB, we'll see you. He's heading over to Zach's stuff. Thanks for coming, hanging out.
Oh yeah, bye JB. Might have to bring this this choil down a little bit.
Yeah, that kick.
So sit down a little better.
Yeah, and Terry has the answer for you. It's the Whittler pattern 08.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. And I guess this one would be the half whittler, being a 2-blade. So this is my one of my 12 OTs that I have. That's what you just showed, wasn't it?
Yes.
Mine has a tiny bit different blade shape. I think it was maybe ground down to this blade shape. It's hard to say, but I like this one because it has a lighter shade of brown on the handle.
Well, mine is a China made, and I think yours is a USA.
Yeah, it is. And I don't know. You know, obviously it's, what was it, the 70s through the 90s they did this, and sorry guys, I just realized I'm on low battery, so just need to plug in.
Okay.
But yeah, I have another one that has exact same. It's a U.S. made one that it has the same blade shape that California there.
Yep.
So like I said, I don't know if this one is ground down or what. It looks to be. It's a bit smaller, so
yeah.
Those are my 212s. I do have a little bitty lockback. This is a Case Executive lockback knife in stainless. It's all the entire thing.
Nice.
The liners are basically the covers. So, and I have actually seen these. I don't know if it's custom or if Case actually does it, but all the way up to about here or so, I saw one that had bone covers all the way to about right here. Not all the way up to the tang, but you know, just about an inch off maybe. And it looked really good. So I was thinking about figuring out how to take this apart and doing the same thing. So we'll see on that one. But this one is a really good locking knife with a pin blade there. So
yeah, making
that one a great mighty mini. Pretty much indestructible. And
yeah, that's very cool.
One last one is my little trick knife by Imperial. Oh, I broke it. It won't close. Oh, I'm just kidding. You just turn it upside down. We all seen this one before, but another little pin blade. And this is not a can opener or a bottle opener, as some would believe. It actually catches a little bar right there that you can see. Whenever it's, the blade is facing down, it'll shut. And do not have your fingers there, because from that position to that position, it is lightning fast. So fingers will go. And it has imitation pearl, maybe celluloid, maybe some other kind of plastic, but not sure. It's held up quite well. I believe these were made in the 50s, if I'm not mistaken. So you just hold it down and close it, and that's it.
Yeah, those are really interesting knives, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's all I have for now. So
Okay,
thank you.
you're welcome. All right, Tom's back with another small Stockman.
Yeah,
There
this
you
is a Schmidt and Ziegler, and it's got bone covers. You can see on one side the bone has broke off. And I've not done a lot of research on this knife yet. Haven't cleaned it up yet, but it's the model 321 Schmidt and Ziegler. So out of Germany, obviously, but just another dandy little Stockman. And
Yeah, that's really cool.
when I look at it, I'm wondering if that is a coping blade or if that's their sheep's foot. And when you look at it like that, it looks like it's a coping blade. Well, when you look really close, it looks like there's a swedge that comes down on the knife. I think it's actually a sheep's foot, but it doesn't look rounded because unless you really look at it, you don't see the little swedge in it. So kind of interesting.
It's probably modified.
Modified. There you go.
allegedly.
Right,
Well,
allegedly.
kind of a neat little knife.
I would say it's a coping knife. It looks like a coping shape. to
It
me
does.
more than a sheep.
But when you look real close
Yeah.
at it and you counter or you factor in the swedge on it, it looks more rounded. So I don't know.
Yeah, that could be.
Oh, Gizmo says, show your buck deuce. Okay.
Yep, I was going to tell you, you got a.
I will. I'll try to dig it out here.
Okay. Well, then I guess I could show a couple knives while you do that. So I have really sweet little Boker jewel. This is just a fantastic little lockback. Definitely gentleman's carry. Super nice blade. Just beautiful covers on it. Really nice wood and just a really good all around knife. Really fine as far as a mighty mini. It's definitely on the small side, but it's got a very capable blade on it. Byron says, look in your ear, Tom. You could have it in your ear.
I did look there. It wasn't.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Then I also have this little Rough Rider toothpick. This is the only tiny toothpick that I have, but definitely a good one. This is in that titanium series, so it has the black coated blade, and I liked that the way this whole series looks. It's an older series, but I think that it was really well done. I have the canoe that's in this series, but as black as these covers are, the canoe is turned kind of a light gray, which is really different, but kind of interesting. But yeah, the tiny toothpick. There's been a lot of videos, at least a year or so ago, where a lot of guys were using tiny toothpicks for all their different EDC tasks and stuff. So very interesting kind of stuff. And then I have this awesome. This is a Camelus 21 that came from Zen himself. So really an awesome knife. It has little jigged Delrin, ringed bolsters, just really sweet. It has a little pen blade, just a really awesome little jackknife, and one that unfortunately, it seems like knife makers don't make as many of these in this configuration, with I don't know. There are some, but they just aren't as well done as this. You know? At least in my opinion. Case made tiny muskrats and trappers too. Yeah, I still see the tiny trappers. I haven't seen a tiny muskrat, but all right.
The estate sale I was at yesterday had a tiny trapper, but they wanted too much for it, in my opinion.
Did you get it, Tom?
I don't think he's got it yet.
There,
Oh, there you go. Woo.
finally got it.
You needed that knife with the ear scoop.
Yeah. So that's the deuce in just natural wood grain. But they've just come out with a deuce in the really dark packwood or packwood, however you say it. So it has a clip blade and it has a coping blade. Now, as you know, Buck kind of got out of the slip joint, making them stateside here. They've shifted a lot of their production of their slip joints overseas. So this is what it used to be. This is a Buck Lancer. So it's identical knife. Just the Lancer was USA made and the deuce was made overseas. Oh, this is the deuce. So this is made in China, USA made. And you can tell this one was one made by Camillus because of that long nail pull on it. It doesn't have the little bird's eye nail nick in it. So, yep. So a lot of the traditional slip joint knife models that Buck made USA, they're now made over in China. So, but this is now, which one is it now? Here. This little deuce is available in Walmart, and it's a nice little knife. I really like that dark packwood on it. So, of course, that coping blade's a handy blade there too.
Yeah, it sure is.
Especially if you like to whittle.
All righty. Okay, who wants to go next, or shall I do it?
You can go next.
All right.
I got a few ready.
Okay. Well, here we'll go ahead and cut over to you then.
Thank you. You showed a tiny toothpick, so I have my single case tiny toothpick, and I can't really tell what shape that shield is there on camera. It is it's kind of oval in the middle, but it has these two little shapes coming off the ends that are identical. This one is in saw cut bone, and I believe it is chestnut. It's hard to say though. Anybody can help me there, that'd be appreciated. This one is a 2006, according to the stamp there with the California there. Got plenty of those today. And it is 610096, and mine is in stainless steel. Wonderful little knife, in my opinion. I have 1970, I believe. Nope, 1976. Pen knife made by Case and Stag. This one had the definitely modified California clip into a sheep's foot, and it still says Case Razor Edge on it. So it is their stainless line. The SS there, and great pen blade. Ridiculous snap, as y'all have all talked about today on these mini knives. This one is quite ridiculous, and in my opinion, when you oil them, it just gets worse. It doesn't help them. It doesn't make them any smoother or anything. It just makes them faster and harder when they open and close. So I found that out with that Sheffield knife that Randy over at Randy's WSG gifted me. It opens like an anvil, slamming down. But I really like this the stag covers on this little bitty penknife. Yeah, lots of character and wear on that one. And I have something very similar to the Deuce. This is the old timer X timer, and she might be a little bit bigger than 3 inches actually. Let me make sure. Oh yeah, I'm sorry everyone. I broke the rules.
No, it's a modified 3-inch.
Modified three and a quarter. 3 and a quarter. Just a hair over the size, but still the same pattern and same blade shapes. This one is oh goodness, I forgot. It is it's a form of bluing. I forgot the exact term that they used. Some kind of oxide, but I really love this knife. This is my grandfather's, and he never carried it or anything, and has great snap to it as well.
That's nice.
All right,
Yeah,
Byron, we'll see you later.
I love the
Thanks
blued
for-
blades
Thanks for
myself.
stopping by.
Bye, Byron. Great snap on that pin blade as well, and with the X timer shield, pretty cool, all in brass.
That is cool. I like that.
Is Byron taking off?
Yes, he is. He
I-
says he's
I don't
got a
see-
treeing coon hound that's either in love with him or just has to go out for a walk.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes the pups have to do their thing. And
Well,
I
his
know that
comment
well.
didn't come up in my feed, so
Oh, okay.
weird. I don't know.
And he said that was a nice last knife to look at there, Cal.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go to you, Tom.
Oh, Saturn shield. Oh, thank you for that too.
Okay, this is a Buck Knight model 505. Got a drop point blade. This one is from 1986. And if I remember correctly, in 86, they were using 425M, I think, for the steel. The inlay is brown birch. Just a nice little knife. This one has been used. Got this in an antique store. And then here's a more recent model from 2018. And it has the rosewood inlays. And of course, it's 420 HC with the Boz. So, yep, another fine buck lockback.
Very nice.
Very cool. And Jeff Jackson says he has a 505 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Yeah, because
Good little knives.
Yeah, they are. That 500 series, Tom did a whole video series on those. And,
Oh, that was the 700 series.
Oh, 700 series. I thought you
The
did one on
700
500.
Yeah, the 500 series are lockbacks. The 700s are slip joints.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I did do a complete video on the 700 series. I want to
Okay.
do it. Okay, maybe you can let me know in the comments, because I want to do basically the history of the 500 series. And I want to say I have the complete set, but that's only a half truth, because I have here somewhere, and I don't know where it's at. Zen Ali sent me one. It's the same knife. It's a 505. The only difference is the inlays are made out of what they called buccarta or micarta, and they were white. And they called them what was it, the Lady Buck, or then they changed the name later to the White Knight, and that was model 506. So I have that one. But then they came out with a 507, which was the Ultima 1 and the Ultima 2, but it's still the same frame, the same exact knife as the 505. It's just that the inlay is pearl. So it got a designation of 507. So technically, one way to look at it, I've got it all because the frame and everything is all the same, but I don't have the one with the pearl inlay in it. So do I have a complete set or not? I don't know. Jeff says go for it.
I say I echo that. I'd say your collection is close enough. Close
Okay.
enough for YouTube.
Just a little shameless plug. I've uploaded and it'll be released tomorrow morning. Complete history of the Buck 102 Woodsman.
Nice.
So
that I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with Ghost Malone here. He's got it right, hit it right on the head. I don't even think Tom likes those knives anymore.
Well, you know, this is what's hard about knife collecting is they came out with the Ultima 1, and like I said, it has pearl inlays, and it came in a really fancy presentation box. So there's the Ultima 1 and Ultima 2, but you know, to find them on eBay, you know, they started around $250, and it's just like, man, that's awful hard to swing.
Yeah,
Just to say I've got the whole 500 series.
For sure.
But to complicate it, apparently, and I saw one advertised, it wasn't on eBay, somewhere else. The White Knight is a 506, but it's got the micarta inlays. But there's a lady out there that has one with the pearl inlays, which would be the Ultima 1, but it's still stamped 506 and not 507. So Buck kind of screwed up in a way, I don't know. Typically, when you put different inlays in here, you don't change the number on it. It's just a variation of the same knife. But for some reason, they started adding a different number to them. So, yeah, it's confusing.
Yeah, it is. Then Big J said he made a trade for that for a 2002 Buck 55, and it has the Idaho tang stamp on there. So
that would be great to have. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. That is super cool.
I've got one Buck knife with the Idaho stamp on it. Well, that was 2006.
Right.
Yeah, 2002 would have an anvil on it because that was their 100th year anniversary.
Oh, okay.
So an anvil is 2002, and the state of Idaho is 2006.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, very good. It's good to know that. Good that we have somebody that knows something about a buck knife, right, Terry?
I just have to take
you let me know when you find them.
I just have to take his word for it. I believe you, Tom.
Exactly.
I'll try to find mine, although it might break the 3-inch rule. But
that's all right.
Go ahead and move on to someone else while I look here.
It's already been broken.
Let me. Oh, you got something there? Okay.
Let's show a couple while he's pilfering around.
Yeah.
I got a couple. I got 3 or 4 of these, but I'll just show a couple while he's digging.
Right.
And why in the world now? You know, Caitlin may be able to answer this. I've never been able to get a significant answer. This is a 3-inch toothpick that I've always been heard is called a Texas toothpick. But I was always told everything's bigger in Texas. Now they make 4-inch toothpicks, 5-inch toothpicks. Well, they call this the Texas toothpick. Go figure. It's the smallest one of the bunch.
I think they're just poking fun at Texas.
Yeah. Or maybe somebody else said maybe that they used it to pick their teeth with.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But this is a Sharps Cutlery, which is a subsidiary of Frost Cutlery, and it's got the 440 stainless steel. Excellent bone handles on it. It's got the little Sharps rifle as a shield, and just really good snap. These, of course, all these little small 3-inch toothpicks seem to have very good snap to them. But that's pretty good. I think I like that one pretty good.
Yeah, I like that one too.
I'll show this one. This is a 2017 case 3-inch toothpick with the 6.5 bone stag, which I'm pretty proud to own. This one has been carried quite a bit. That bone stag is worn way down. Had just a little bit of a broken tip, very small, and I worked it down. But it's just a dandy little old knife. I found it in an antique store, and I think I wound up giving. I think I give either $20 or $25 for it, and was just proud to give it. Was proud to give it because these little toothpicks ain't cheap.
Oh no,
These little
No,
case
they're not.
toothpicks ain't cheap at all. But they make
So
good.
the-
They make good little watch pocket knives and secondary knives.
So to answer your question, I have one of those small case toothpicks also. And sometimes they're referred to as a Texas toothpick, and sometimes they're tiny Texas toothpick, and other times they're referred to as just the tiny, I don't know. I tried to look that up too, and there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it. So,
Yeah.
I'm back, guys.
all right,
noticed.
welcome back. Welcome back, Nada.
You made it just in time. And Terrell Schneider has a nice comment on here about Stefan Schmalhaus has a video about the toothpick knives. And Stefan's channel is really awesome. If you guys haven't seen it, he's over there in Europe, but he has some really cool historical videos and stuff. So definitely take a look at his channel if you get a chance. You'll find some good stuff on there. All right, Tom, here you go. Sorry.
Well, I had to stop and measure. We're right at 3 inches, so I'm still
Okay.
legal here. Okay. So this is a buck 310. It's the Whittler model. So it looks like a small Stockman, except instead of sheep's foot, it's got the coping blade on it. And it does not have 3 blades like their Stockman's does. It's got the split spring back there. But what I wanted to show you is on the secondary blades, you see the state of Idaho on there?
Yes.
Yeah, that means it was made in 2006.
Oh, wow.
Because that's the first year they were operating out of Idaho. That's to celebrate their move to Idaho.
Absolutely. All righty. Well, I'll bust out a couple of canoes. These were in my canoe video, but this is that little Queen City black lip pearl canoe, which I think is just a absolutely gorgeous knife. Really cool covers on it. You have a really nice blade on there, nice spear, and I don't think it has a etch on there. No, it does not. It just says Queen City. But this came out when SMKW first released the Queen City knives and the Queen knives. I just thought this was a really cool example. Got the nice long match strike pulls on it. And then I had this little Rough Rider. This is their dogleg canoe, which has a lockback main blade. So you have that little spear, and then it's got almost like a mid lock on that. And then the pen blade is actually spay blade, and it's slip joint. So kind of a different knife. Really a very very unique little knife, but cool little Rough Rider. One that I like showing those guys off because I don't really show off the smaller canoes too much. All right, Terry, he's heading out. So thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your knowledge too.
Take care, Terrell. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. All right, you ready with another one there, Tom?
I do. This
Okay.
is one of my favorite knives, and it's probably the cheapest made knife I own. It's called the Boy's Favorite, and it's basically just 2 pieces of stamped aluminum and put together, single blade. Now, when I bought it, I thought the tip of the blade was broke, but you know what? If I hold the knife this way, it came with a spay blade. Look at that.
There you go.
I found this in an antique store, and I just fell in love with it. I mean, you conjure up, childhood memories and this and that. Did some little boy get this? And, this was his first knife, and just, probably treasured it. Probably just treasured it. So I just thought it was kind of neat. They're kind of called a carnival knife and a dime store knife, because they probably cost a dime. But yeah, this was there was a tray sitting in a case, so I asked them to bring the tray of knives out. I picked through them, and this thing was laying way down on the bottom of stuff. That's why you really got to dig sometimes to see what all they have to offer. But yeah, this is just a cool knife, man.
Yep. It is. It really is. I know Patty loves that knife.
Mm-hmm.
He always goes nuts when he sees it.
Yep.
All right, Cal, we'll bring you up.
Figured it's been a while. I got a little Imperial jackknife here with another little California there. Maybe not so much.
Close enough.
It is a slender clip point, I will say. This one has a little bit different stamp than the other ones that I have. It has an uppercase Imperial with a lot like fancier lettering, and the crown is right above the I in Imperial, the last I, and yeah, I've never seen the tank stamp like that, so I don't really know when that one is from either. And I know this one has or maybe some of the Imperials have patent numbers on them, but this one does not seem to. It has the black plastic handles, Delrin or whatnot, and stainless liners. Got brass pins for the handles. Seems to be stainless or nickel silver for the bolsters. Has an easy open for the pin blade there. And I might have just got bit a little bit, but not too bad. Yeah, great little almost peanut-like knife.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, and, getting bit is an occupational hazard around here.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Just act like it don't happen.
That's right.
There's a really good twedge there at the top too. I don't know if you
can see that looks good.
Long pull. Have another knife that I picked up at the estate sale yesterday. This is an old gun stock Robeson that I picked up with the shield. What is that? The bomb shield?
Yeah.
I think that's more like a badge myself.
Badge shield.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, you're right.
I call it the shield.
Yeah.
And Robeson Cutlery Co. Yeah, I don't own any of these. This is my first one, and the guys here were telling me that it was a possibly a family member of the Case family made these knives. So I do have a number here on the tang. Is a 622-330, maybe. Hard to read, but I thought it was really cool. I didn't know anything about it. I only have one gun stock. It is a case, and I have two. Oh goodness! Just throw it at the camera there. And but yeah, really, really old. Believe y'all said they were stopped making them in the 50s. I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I thought we were discussing that before the show. Maybe somebody said that.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Here is my case. It's actually a Case Brothers gun stock, which is another offshoot of Case, I guess.
Yeah.
So Case Brothers there on the blade. It is a very nice spear point with that really good swedge at the top, the long pull, and swedges on both sides. So that's pretty cool. And the tang says Case Bros Cutlery Co. and it has 5 X's and 1 dot. So this one is in chestnut. I do have the box for it here. This is a 2004 and 6215 USA in stainless steel on the pin blade there. Yeah, it's a really cool mini knife that I didn't know much about. Still don't. Just got both of these actually. So got some research to do on these, and looking forward to that. Here's the box for it.
Oh wow.
Bros.
Yeah.
And this one was Gunstock Chestnut in 2004. And this box is pretty cool. It's got the owners' names on it. I guess at one point in time, Dean, Andrew, Don. Anybody can confirm that? That'd be cool. And yeah, really cool box for that one.
Yeah,
And
that is really neat.
all I have for those minis for now.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Tom.
I have this very nice equal-ended penknife. It's just right at 3 inches. And this is a Hammer brand knife. Now, anyone want to take a guess where I got this knife? This come from Terry's Knives and Man Stuff. Thank you,
wow.
Terry.
Very nice.
There you go.
Yep. I love Hammer brand. I don't know. There's the tang stamp on it, and you can't really make it out, but there's like a strong arm holding a hammer, and it's really neat. I would date this one. I saw the USA is vertical on there, so it's probably made late 30s.
Wow.
And Imperial bought them out somewhere around World War II time frame. But
Yeah.
they were originally a division of New York Cutlery, I believe. But they were just an inexpensive, everyday working man's knife. Oh, but there's let's see, where is it here? There's a nice swedge on that pen blade there.
Oh yeah.
Drop point. See that swedge on there? A long nail pull and then a swedge on it. Single-sided swedge. So, just a really cool knife. Thanks again, Terry.
You're absolutely
cool.
welcome. That's what $5 bought you.
Money well spent, buddy. Money well spent.
I was going to say that's a bargain for $5.
Absolutely.
But don't you think that those knives, we call them cheap knives or whatever and all that, but these knives have lasted 40, 50, 70, 100 years,
What I mean is, these would be the kind of knives in the hardware store. There'd be a cardboard display thing, and these things would just be looped in them, and they might cost 75 cents or $1 or something like. The good knives were down in the glass case. These were sitting up on the counter, and that's what I mean about the inexpensive. So a kid could go in and buy one, go mow a couple lawns, and he'd have enough money for one of these. Or just your average Joe, that kind of an impulse buy. They have everything hanging by the registers these days for impulse buys, so they'd always have a little display of these knives up there. And yeah, but you're right, they've lasted many a year, and many a man made it through their life with nothing more than this, a knife like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, this knife is from the, late 30s, possibly 40s, but probably late 30s. And like you said, it was bought in a hardware store or whatever off of a card.
Yeah,
And probably somewhere around maybe 39 to 59 cents is what that thing cost
could be. Yeah,
in that era.
Yeah.
Let's say on a high end, maybe 69, 79 cents. And to this very day, the quality on the knife, yes, of course,
yeah.
you put it up next to a case or a German knife, yeah. But the fact is that it's lasted all these years, still got that snap, still,
Oh, yeah.
hold the edge, and for all
Yeah.
intent and purposes, would make a fine EDC knife.
If this is the only knife I had to carry, I'd be happy carrying it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. They didn't worry about what the blade steel was, did they?
No, they didn't. They didn't.
Yeah.
But it's still a very capable knife.
You bet.
So 60 years later, 70 years later, still a very capable knife.
Yep.
Yeah, and then a lot of those knives, especially back in the day, you hear the stories about guys going to the feed store and you buy so much stuff and they just threw a pocket knife in with the purchase.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, here you go. Here's a bonus for being a customer.
And seed
you have
corn.
ones with the billboarding and stuff. You buy whatever, and the store would give you a knife that had their business on it. You got something there, Terry?
Yeah, this goes just exactly what you just said, RJ. Just exactly what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all can see. I don't know if y'all can see that.
Yep. It says
What
Northwest
it says,
Grain Co-op.
It says Northwest Grain Co-op Terminal, your locally owned co-op, Williston, North Dakota, and the phone number. This knife right here was probably a gift.
Yes, absolutely.
They had these. A salesman, a salesman give them out, or like you say, you went and bought a bill of feed. That's what we used to call it. We call it a bill of feed. And you spend a certain amount of money, you got this, or you could probably purchase them also. But this knife right here, that's so important. But this knife right here dates from 56 to 88. More than likely somewhere in the 60s or 70s. And look at that. This is that.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
This is the same knife. It's an Imperial. It's the same knife as the one I was showing you a while ago that I carried for 5 or 6 years. And it's the same knife. Now the other one that I carried has definitely got carbon steel. This has got some staining on it, but it's not 100% just straight up carbon steel. But back in those days, the stainless steel was a very high carbon stainless steel.
Right.
So it would patina and even rust. You got to remember it says stainless, not stain free.
Right.
So
those are both made by Imperial, because I don't know if you see the comment on there. Ghost Malone says those co-op knives always last the test of time. He said he didn't know who made them, but they last.
Imperial made a lot, but Colonial made them. I mean, lots of people made them.
Yeah, Colonial made a lot of them too. This, like I said, it's a very capable knife, and look, it's got the double threads on the bolsters. And this is another one of those that has the total scale. In other words, it's got a little clip up here and a clip down here, and you can take the whole side off. But it's lasted the test of time.
Novelty Knife Co. is another one of those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some of the newer stuff. But this old Imperial stuff, Colonial stuff, and some of that has lasted many, many years.
Yeah, it sure has.
I know this is your favorite, RJ.
Kind of.
This would be the ultimate advertising knife if it had the actual advertising printed on it. This is a key knife.
Wow.
And it had one blade, your knife blade, and then it had a key blank on it. And dealerships would buy these and have the dealership name put on there. And then when you bought a new car, they'd take the blank and they would key it to your ignition for your car. So a man that was carrying this always had his car key and his knife with him.
I would love it if they did that today.
Yeah, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Now, you have to remember, years ago, you had basically 3 positions. You had it locked, then neutral, and then you turn it on around to have it crank. But a lot of the old cars, when you turn it off, you could turn it back just to the neutral position and leave it. And you didn't have to use a key then when you went to start it. You could start it from the neutral position. The only time you actually need a key is if you actually turned it back to the lock position. So a lot of people didn't even have their key with them. They would just, because it was always in the neutral position and they could start it. But yeah, this would be your car key. Now, I don't know if this is a car key or what. It's got a number on it, 3061. So if anyone can tell me what that key goes to, let me know, especially if there's, gold bullion involved or something.
If anybody can find that old Studebaker, let them know.
Yeah. And I don't know if I can show it, but there was some sort of a little pin mechanism down in there to where you could take that apart and replace it.
Oh, wow.
So you could replace the key blank.
Key changes.
I guess in case you ever broke the key or if you bought a new car.
Bought a different car, yeah.
So that's where Case got the changer idea from.
Could be.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think those.
Although you have to use, you got to use some tools on this one. It doesn't come out on it. You got to use some tools, but yeah, it can be changed. So pretty cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. I still like that knife a lot. That's so cool. Thank you, Tom, for showing that again.
Oh, you're welcome.
Puts a big smile on my face.
Well, when you were talking about advertising knives, I'm thinking, that's probably the ultimate one.
Yeah.
But yeah, anywhere in agricultural country, especially every seed company, feed company.
Oh yeah.
Purina, Golden Sun, Pioneer Seed Corn, they always handed those out.
Yes, for sure. All right, Cal, let's see what you got.
A little shameless tag here. It's not 3 inches. I'll go ahead and admit that. But I was just going to showcase the knife I was working on. And I about got it completed. Just doing the finishing hand sanding on it. I have to take it apart one last time. And after that, I'm putting it back together for good. But here it is. This is just a clip point trapper, single blade trapper, if you will.
That is so cool.
Or even honestly modeled it off of the Lanny's clip, but added a bit of a trapper hints to it with the rise here and then back down. I believe the Lanny's clip is more just straight to the point over here. But
all right, yeah. Mike, we'll see you.
Take care, Mike.
Bye, Mike.
That's awesome. That's an awesome knife. I'm proud for you.
I appreciate it. Just want to show everybody it's somewhere there, right down the center. So it's a strike, and it is in 1095 carbon, and my brand will be CKC. Camp Knife Cutlery, which you can't see it there, but do have a bit of a. I went for the long pull, but I ran out of room there, so it's a medium pull. And brass liners. It's 416 stainless on the pins on all of them, and nickel silver for the bolster. It is barehead, BARE, as RJ stated. On his was it yesterday or this morning?
It was yesterday.
Yeah,
Friday.
Friday. My apologies. And mine will come with a lanyard hole. I'll probably make some without them because I'm sure not everybody will want the lanyard hole. But yeah, that's it. This is what I've been working on, everybody.
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
And if you want to get a little listen to the snap of it.
Snappability. That's something I learned from Terry.
Absolutely. Thank y'all.
Just make sure you make that thing jam up and jelly tight, or
That's it. Right.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
That's it. Can you answer that question on their pepper dingo head?
No, I cannot. I'd have to look up when Buck started making them.
I'll take a look and see if I can find out when that happened. We'll go ahead and bring you up while I do that.
Oh, another example of an advertising knife. So this was Sanders Manufacturing Company, or Samco. That's what's on the tang stamp there. You probably won't be able to read it. But that's an old company. I think they were out of Tennessee. But they were an old company. Just did advertising swag, and one of the things they offered was a knife, a pocket knife, like this double-bladed jackknife here. So you could order however many and have whatever message you wanted printed on there. But that was actually their business. Now, I doubt they made the knives. I don't know who they contracted them with. You know, it could have been Imperial, it could have been Camillus. Who knows who actually made the knife? But it had Samco on the tang stamp. So, advertising and promotional knives.
It's in great condition.
It is. It is. And I want to say they went out of business in the 80s or maybe early 90s, somewhere in there. It's not super old, but it's probably from the 70s or 80s, I would think.
Well, I don't know when it came out, but I do see some info here that not only did Case and Buck make that, but so did Kershaw, so did United Cutlery. So this is something that's been around for a long time. Of course, Cold Steel's done their version of it, and then you can get those ones from I forget the name of the company, the ones that are almost like a scalpel blade that they sell the skinning knives, but I can't remember. I can see their promo, but I can't remember the words.
Does anyone know? I'm gonna have to look up. I don't even remember what model number that is. The Buck Selector.
I have no idea.
I'll look it up.
No, definitely.
Talk amongst yourselves while I do a little research.
Yeah, it's something that's been around for a while though. Everybody's kind of their version of it, like a Buck 110. Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead, Terry.
428.
What I have here is a Parker Cutlery Eagle brand, made in Siki City, Japan, and this is from the 70s, maybe 80s. It had to be early 80s, but possibly from the 70s. Little lockback. It's kind of reminiscent of that one that you showed, RJ. The one from Rough Riders, kind of about that same size. Little three finger knife. You know, you do it like when you're drinking tea. You just sort of let your pinky. But it's got a lanyard tube, so I put a little leather lanyard on it, and that works out pretty good. It's called Beaver Tail. Y'all can see that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like those handles on that thing.
It is a pretty neat little knife. It was actually my son actually owned a knife. Well, I owned a knife, and I gave it to him years ago for a present. And of course, he don't care for them. He likes the moderns. So he was talking about getting rid of it, whatever. And I said, no, you ain't getting rid of it. Just find something you want of mine, you know, and I'll swap you out of it. So I swapped him out of it, you know, to get it back, because anything that that Jim Parker had a hand in. If I get a chance to own it, I want to own it. A lot of bad stories about Jim Parker and different things, but basically he changed the knife making world. He had a champagne vision, on a beer budget, and he just never had no money. He's always hunting people with money, to do. He started a lot of companies.
Well,
got a lot of people in the knife business.
Him and Jim Frost were in business together, right?
Yes, sir. They was only in business. They was actually in business together for only 2 years.
Right.
Latter part of 76 through the middle part of 78. So only 2 years they was actually. So if you ever find a knife that says Parker Frost on it, you better buy it.
Yeah.
And they're not the best qualities. Let me say that the quality is give and take. Okay. But there's a lot of history involved in them. It's the reason I really like them. But anything that ever says Parker on it, I want it. He had a lot of knives made in Chattanooga in one company, had a lot of knives made over in Alabama. And matter of fact, he was the instrumental in starting what is now called Barry & Sons, the Eagle brand cutlery. He owned Case for several years in the late 80s and early 90s. And he's solely responsible for all the Case Select knives that they built. That he had, he had the knives built for Case, but they were built at Queen Cutlery in Titusville. So very instrumental. Had a company over in Japan. If you ever find one that says Parker Amaya, Siki City, Japan, they're very sought after. Also, enough of that history. That's supposed to be Tony's job.
we love all that history. We love that.
I'll show you one more while I got you right here.
Sure.
Completely the other spectrum.
Nice.
This is a 3-inch baby sunfish by Rough Rider, and this is one of the older ones, the first generation. Got that horseshoe shield and all the horseshoe. Let's see. Now this has the strongest pull of air knife iron in my collection, and it is a 10. I'm telling you. But don't you look? That's why. Look how short that blade is. You hear that snap?
Good Lord.
But like I say, it's the first generation. Got the anvil shield with the horseshoe. And then they got the little small, and even the pin blade is about an 8.5. But I mean, look, I don't even remember what it is. The pin blade. The pin blade is 1.1 inch.
Oh wow!
That's the cutting edge is 1.1 inch, and the spear blade is 1 7/8. It is a 3-inch knife, but don't that pretty?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I digress.
Extra mini too.
Yeah, it is.
It is, but that thing is something else.
Awesome.
All right, Tom.
All right. Since we have the Parker Knives, Parker Cutlery expert on, I'm going to ask him about this knife because I believe Parker had a hand in this, but I cannot find out a whole lot of information. It's called the Timberwolf 3. It's got bone covers. It says here on the tang stamp, it says bone handle 440 stainless. And then on the pile side, it says SKB2 Japan. So that must be the actual model number.
Huh? But it don't say
Doesn't say
Parker or
Parker.
Eagle brand or nothing.
No. It does not have a brand. And when I try to search it on the internet, I can't seem to find out any information on this exact knife. Although I think I read somewhere, someone thought that sounded like or looked kind of like a knife that Parker might have had his hands in. But it's a nice little lockback knife. That's a nice one.
It is. It's very nice. I like it.
Yeah. Nice natural bone.
It's very, very highly possible.
Yep. So, I don't know when Case came out with their knife, but the Buck Selector Model 428, it was introduced in 1990 with a black handle or with olive drab handles added later. And in 92, they kind of changed the name because it looks like it became part of the Workman series, and it was called the Toolbox Selector, I guess. So something like that. So it looks like 1990 is the start date for the Buck Selector.
Interesting.
Well, thank you, Tom, for that.
Yep.
Well, if we're going to talk about small but mighty knives, one that is iconic has to be the Tadpole.
Oh,
This
Oh,
little
wow.
guy has launched an entire family of knives because it went from the Tadpole as the original one. They had the angry watermelon and the baby bee and the stomping blueberry, and now they got tater tots and all kinds of other things are in this whole family. So you can get a whole bunch of these little knives, but this is the one that does it for me. The original Tadpole. I thought this was an awesome knife because with that big bolster on the end, I thought, well, what isn't better than a little spring-assisted Barlow, especially if it's miniature. But it has a little liner lock on it, and they're a fun little blade, but definitely snappability on this because that blade flies right out of there.
Definitely.
Another bunch of knives. I had bought this Schrade. This I don't even remember when. Probably 98, 99. I don't know. Still USA made Schrade, but they had these little FRN handled lockbacks that they've just been around forever. And I think I got this for I think it was $7 or $8 at Walmart when I bought it. It was just one of those ones hanging in a blister pack. Like Tom said, you need a knife and you just grabbed one. But lightweight and fun. And then here is the case version. This is the small caliber blade, and it's the same thing. And this is still less than $20 for a USA made case. So this is probably the least expensive, and they come in different colors. You can get them in the black and camo and some other stuff. And they just nice little fifth pocket knife. A knife that you won't even know that you have it in your pocket until you need it. Hey, Gerbs.
hey, Gerb.
Big J's got to go, so we'll see you. And yeah, it is crazy how that Tadpole took off. That's for sure. And then this is a little Marbles lockback that they make, and I have always liked this little knife. It's very nice little thing, and this comes in. You can get it in this tan color. They also have it in orange and black, so you do get a variety. Just a nice little blade. I love the blade shape on it. It's got a really nice point on it there. I'll put it on my shirt so you can kind of see. It's nice and pointy where the Schrade is kind of more of your spear, and I think the case is too. I think it's very, very similar. Well, it's kind of pointy too, but yeah, kind of more of a spear shape. But this has definitely got that nice clip blade that we like. So just a fun little knife, a couple of fun little mighty mites. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
I've got the angry watermelon, and you're right. It is snappy.
Yep.
Boy, that thing just pops right out.
Good
It's
Lord.
a fun little knife.
It is. If it doesn't put a smile on your face, then I mean you're just doing it wrong. Yeah, now it's got the little seeds and the eye on it.
So the story goes, you have the original, and somebody thought it looked like a watermelon or something,
Yes, that's right.
and started calling it a watermelon. So then they decided, well, let's just make an angry watermelon.
It was Greg's wife at SMKW said it looked like an angry watermelon to her.
Okay.
And so that's where they came up with the name. But then they decided to actually do a coated blade with it, and then it just took off, and they did all the other versions of it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty neat.
Yep, it sure is.
It almost doesn't it almost feel like it's assisted opening?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is assisted. Yeah, there's a spring because when you go to close it, you can tell when you release that you have that resistance.
Yeah, I just didn't even realize it till now, but
Yeah,
boy, it flips out.
It sure does. Yep, it's got that spring. All right, Terry's got something.
I got one here that I need help with. This is a Imperial. Now I've had this knife 30 years, and it is an Imperial. And on that tang stamp, it says right there on the tang stamp, Imperial, England. And that's all it says. And when you look up the Imperial tang stamp chart, this tang stamp's not on there. From time to time, I've tried to look it up. I have found a couple for sale, not sold, but just for sale, which don't mean nothing, but I can't find the proper kind of information on it. I've had people tell me Imperial didn't make a knife from England. Well, I don't know whether they did or not, but I can tell you that blade is stamped Imperial, England. So if anybody in the comments or anybody watching this knows anything about that, I would love to know.
Oh yeah, that's a fake right there.
You think it's a fake?
No, I'm just kidding. No,
You're kidding me, boy. You're kidding me.
I'm pulling your leg.
Oh, you talking about the knife? I thought you were talking about me.
Never.
Hey,
Yeah,
but
so
I would like to have more information on that. If I could, like I tell you all the time, when I'm researching, I get to going around in circles, and I can't always figure out what I'm looking at.
Hey, I might have an answer for you, Terry.
Lay it on me.
Now, this is off a message chat board, but something about, Imperial's an old American cutlery company dating back to the early 1900s. However, Imperial U.S. bought the Richards, Rogers, Wolstenholme conglomerate in 1977 and made Imperial England knives in Sheffield for a few years. It did not work out, and the company was sold in 1982.
Yeah, it might be on the Sheffield chart, somebody said.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
That helps me a whole lot.
So, yeah.
It's just a dandy little old knife.
Yep.
Got some new leads there.
There you go. I need all the leads I can get.
It said they also used IK space CO sometimes, and it looked like IK CO on the tang stamp.
Yeah, this one just says Imperial on the top and England under it. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, Ghost Malone, EDC.
That's where it come from? But
Yeah.
I have a hard time reading that.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, and I do have some Imperials made in Ireland. They were made in Ireland for a while.
I got some of them too.
Yeah.
I have a count knife, Imperial Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Got the red, like Celador handles and all on it. Excellent knife.
Yeah, they made a lot of stuff over there.
Well, it's like, when I done the video on the Saber, it's an American company, which, was owned by Imperial, but, they imported knives from almost every continent on the earth,
Right. That's for sure.
Yeah, thanks, Ghost Malone, for shipping us in the right direction. There's just so many knife companies, and the histories are so intermingled and back and forth. And this company bought this one, and then sold that one, and this one bought this one, and it's hard to keep track of.
Moving, because of different economic forces and stuff, so they were moving production overseas and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's very interesting because it just ties into so much world history and stuff as well. So really cool stuff.
Absolutely.
You got some more knives, boy?
I'm out of my minis.
I got at least one more special one I just thought of that I'd like to share.
Y'all
I gotta find it.
All right. Well, it looks like Terry's got one, so we'll let him go.
This one right here is a Craftsman USA, and according to what I've got written down here, it's a Craftsman 9507. They call it a peanut, 2 7/8. And from what I found, they say it's made by Schrade. It's from 75 to 77. And then I was reading on the Blade Forum, and a couple of guys even said it could be as old as 1959.
Oh, wow.
I don't think it's that old. And if you look right there, you can see the little shield. It's got a replacement shield. The actual Craftsman shield is supposed to say Craftsman right there. Evidently fell out, somewhere along the line, and somebody made a little blank metal shield and put in there. But I was digging around in a box at the flea market, and oh boy, I got this for $1, and I wasn't about to let it lay in no box.
Right.
I got it fairly well cleaned up, enough to where it open, and it's got the clip. The main clip blade has got some fairly decent little snap. The pin blade is a little stiff. It's got, it's real light. It's not a very expensive knife, but I couldn't let it go to waste. Had to save it.
Very nice.
All right. We'll see you, Joe. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you being here.
I can show one more, RJ, while you got me up real quick, if you don't mind.
No, you go right ahead, sir.
I hear him still digging. This is a little Winchester. I'll let you see if you can see that. Can you see that?
Not really, but that's okay.
This is pretty faded. It's a little pen knife and got real good snap on it. And if it'll come through, it has an etching in the handle, and the etching is Oliver F. Winchester.
Oh, that's neat.
Wow.
It's on both sides, and it's pretty neat. I found this in a little junk store, not even an antique store, a bona fide junk store, and I bought 3 or 4 knives from this old boy for like $2 a piece, and it took quite a bit of cleaning up. Had no idea what it was when I bought it. I just liked the way it looked.
Yeah, that's cool.
Tom still digging?
No, Tom came back. But an interesting thing about Oliver Winchester, if you guys aren't familiar with the history of Winchester firearms, he was more of a entrepreneur, and he was a shirt maker that had money, and he ended up buying Winchester and hiring B. Tyler Henry of the Henry Rifle Company to go into the firearms business. So it's kind of interesting history. Back then he was the money man.
Right. Well, Tom was talking about, knife companies and their sordid histories, and, the gun industry is the same way.
Oh, for sure. I think really everything that happened back in that, industrial revolution was all like that, so All righty, go ahead, Tom. We'll show your knife there.
I'm going to show you one of my special knives. It's called the Treasury. And you talk about smooth. A little buck knife. It's a fancy lockback. I think that's rosewood. And then it's got a brass frame around it. And I know you got to feel it to believe it. But this thing just opens up so smooth. This thing is this is my favorite lockback, I think, as far as pressure. Look at that. It just snaps right in there.
Wow, that's like on ball bearings.
Almost, yeah. It just, hear that snap?
I've never seen one of those.
Yeah,
Sounds
it's called the Treasury. And it was probably, one of their higher end knives. And then even came in this little, I guess this would be a pocket slip from back in the day. But you keep it down in this. So, yeah, a fancy little knife. And I just love it.
That's very nice.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
really cool. It looks like it's based on that 500 series of knives.
It is. The actual number is 527.
Do the liners taper down to the handle material?
I'll try to show it here.
It looks like they kind of show above or show behind the wood handles there.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I like that.
That's some precision inlay right there.
So those are really thick liners with the wood inlaid into them.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Gotcha.
You're giving Cal ideas.
I am.
That might be his next camp knife.
So yeah, I just love this little thing.
You never know.
So you probably wouldn't carry that knife in your pocket with some loose change and some keys.
Well, I don't know. They gave you this pocket slip here. I would not, that's for sure.
I found one. Found one more.
All right.
It's just a mini trapper by Imperial I received from Tim School of Fish in his giveaway box about a month ago, 3 weeks ago or so. And it is it's a Schrade made Imperial.
Nice.
I believe it's a newer knife. It just says Imperial with a little crown there. Got Imperial Schrade with the guy bringing the hammer down on an anvil there on the etched on the blade, and IMP 13 on the back there, and a great California there, and a really good looking spade blade in my opinion. Very shallow and not a lot of upsweep.
Yeah.
So definitely a little bit different, modified.
Butter knife.
Yeah. that is the last mini I have. I'm all out of minis, so sorry.
All out of me.
Well, I have a question for Kalen.
Yeah.
Was that an Imperial made by Schrade, or was it a Schrade made by Imperial?
I believe this is an Imperial made by Schrade. Sorry, is that a joke? Okay.
It's a joke. They merged together.
You got me.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jergs. That's an awesome sentiment. I wanted to put that comment up for everybody to see.
Thanks, BC.
That's pretty awesome.
You bet.
Yep.
Yeah, November 11th is coming up awful quick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed. Oh, it looks like Terry's ready to go with some more. I better go pull some more knives. If we're gonna keep going,
Is this going to be a 24-hour marathon?
Exactly. I'll fresh out right now.
This one is Tom, you'll have to look at this one because on the little. Now, what this is these knives were made by Colonial. It says it right there. They're Colonial.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll have some ambassadors, and what they got is a little inlay.
Yeah.
Kind of like Tom remember and RJ will remember back when we were kids. You remember Formica?
Oh yeah.
That's kind of like what those little inlays are. And I've got a piece of tape around this one because I need to repair it. But it says Winchester, in his logo script, and then right there it has script Western.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's from Western. That remember the old Western auto stores?
No,
it's not. It's not from there, Tom. I think that Winchester Western is their ammo part of Winchester.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
So that's an ammo knife as opposed to the firearm knife.
Right. See, Winchester, for years and years and years, now it's split up. They have several different trademarks. You got a trademark for ammo, a trademark for the guns, and a trademark for the knives. And the Orlin, it actually owns the trademarks to them, except for Bluegrass Cutlery. This is kind of fuzzy, but from what I understand, Bluegrass Cutlery owns the rights to make knives with the Winchester name.
Okay.
I don't quote me. This is not gospel. I'm not sure that they actually own the trademark or not.
Yeah.
I know they own the rights to put the name on knives that they make. I don't know how that works. I'm not Philadelphia lawyer, no kind of scholar.
Probably how it works is that when somebody wants to make a knife and have the Winchester name on it, then they probably have to pay those guys to be able to use the name.
They do.
They may not make it. It could be any manufacturer. It's just that they have to pay those people for the rights to do that.
Yeah, you're right. And you have to be real careful about Winchesters. The reason I say that is you have Winchesters that were made by Queen Cutlery back in the 80s and all that. Now, that's the ones you really, really, really want. If it says Winchester and it has Titusville, PA on it, then you want them. Then you got these guys that right now are making brand new Winchesters in Manchester, Ohio. Tim Scott, which is actually him and his daddy worked for Queen back in the day when they were making the K Select. That part I do know. But then you also got these companies that have the rights and they're making Winchesters out of China at the same time. I don't know how that works.
You showing that knife reminded me of something. I got to go try to look for it. So I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, I'll bring Kaylin up while you're looking.
Oh, it's nothing special. It's just probably a China-made Winchester that I had a custom handle put on about 15 years ago, where I knew what I was doing. But it's had the top sharpened. But the main thing is the stag handle there that I show anytime I can.
That crown stag is awesome.
Yeah. And it still has the Winchester stamp there. Etching, I should say.
And all this time, I thought you were showing us your fifth pocket carry.
Yeah, it fits in there real good.
Well, you are down in Texas, so
yeah,
makes sense.
Just a little toothpick, if you will.
Well, if you're gonna show out, I know we're supposed to be making mighty minis, but if you're gonna show out,
the stag was coming out. The stag was coming out.
Stag too. Hey,
that's very nice.
Yeah, I just love this thing right here. I do. I love it.
Yeah, I love that full handle with the smaller blade there.
Yes, it's just whoever made this knife knew exactly what they were doing. They've done a perfect job on it. I couldn't let you buy with that. I had to get in on that myself.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I got a couple more minis right here. We were talking about frost a while ago,
Yeah.
and I'll show these at the same time. These are frost cutlery, mini hawk bills, and let's see, I'll hold that one up right there, and it's German stainless.
Very nice.
They claim it to be that what is it, Kalen? 4160 German stainless,
Mm-hmm.
and the old original frost cutlery tang stamp. And these are liner locks.
Oh, wow.
Actually, see if I can get it right now where you can see it. You see that liner lock?
Absolutely.
These are pretty neat little knives. It's excellent. That's some awesome snap locked in. They lock in real good. Very sharp. This blue one right here, it's actually I loan it out every fall to Sweet Pea. She uses this to pick out pecans. that point right there, she uses that to pick out pecans.
Definitely a good use. All righty. Well, we need to talk about something because Tom ain't back.
Well, let's see. Here I can come up with another one.
All righty.
Got a little mini right here. This is a mossy oak
Oh, yeah.
with a sheep's foot and a liner lock, and even got a Coke bottle opener on the back of it with a little lanyard hole, and
Nice.
it's actually fairly easy to open and close, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Even with my bad thumb, I can open and close it, and it's sharp. It's sharp. I'm having a hard time remembering even where I come up with that thing at.
Looks plenty capable.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's plenty capable. That's exactly right. Capable. What else I got here? Y'all waiting on Tom? Yeah, I got a case Blackhorn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now these are very capable little knives, really, for the price. You can catch these on sale a lot of times at SMKW for less than $20.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
American-made case knife for $20. You can't go wrong with that. And lock back.
You can even find those on the secondary market for around $20. So they're very easy to find for sure.
They definitely don't go down in price. That's for sure.
No.
This knife they use a lot. Like we were talking about a while ago for advertising, you'll see this knife a lot. I know you see a lot of them with the Harley Davidson logo on them. The black ones with the Harley Davidson logo on them.
That and NASCAR. I've seen a lot with the NASCAR drivers on there.
You're right about that. Tom ain't back yet?
No, sir.
Keep going, Terry.
You deplete. Well, I still got some out yonder.
I was going to say, do you want to start over at the beginning?
Well, I got another little Imperial here, little Imperial jackknife.
Oh, yeah.
Those are cool.
They are. They're. It's amazing, these little knives. And this one, I have to get my magnifying glass out. This one is okay. It's the up and down, so it's the later one. This is like from 56, 56 to 88. So we got that one right there, and got another 3-inch toothpick from Rough Rider, which is a Stoneworks. Now these are really nice little knives, but from what I was told, I'm told that the abalone is supposed to be real and everything else is supposed to be synthetic. But now I don't know that for a fact. I'm just telling you what they say.
Baloney.
Yeah, exactly. But got pretty good little snap to it. It's a nice little knife. I know Tobias collects all of these Stoneworks knives.
He loves those.
Of course, he collects all toothpicks, but the Stoneworks, he's got stone, and I think they got either 2 or 3 different versions, or year models and stuff, and he collects them all. And they are pretty little knives to collect and look at. They're pretty nice.
The snap sounded great on that one.
They do. These little toothpicks, all of them are real good.
Yep.
And
all right, Gerbs, we'll see you later.
See you, Gerbs.
Adios, buddy.
And this is the copper.
Yeah.
Got the copper bolsters and all, and the copper shield, and the black bone with the blacked out blade. And this is dandy. This is probably got better snap than the other one. It don't really snap open that well. It'll hold, but the talk is pretty good.
Yeah, I like those the copper knives. They just I love how they patina over time. Tom came back.
I'm ready.
Are you?
I am.
Good. We're ready for you too.
As soon as I paste this link for my good friend Ray at North Star Knife Reviews.
Yeah,
hello,
he
Ray.
for sure needs a link.
Yep. I think I'm caught up. All right. So Terry, you reminded me because I've got one of those colonial knives too. Right here. Although the advertising's missing from it. So that's what they look like without. So when I took this off, it was all tore up and they're all mangled. And this was from a seed cordon company, I think. It looked like it was paper, and then they put something over like a sticker. They put the sticker in there, and then they put something over the top of it. So that's what they look like. You can see they're just machine riveted together.
Yeah, but it's pretty amazing though. The snap, and the build quality is really good.
Yep. Now, I forgot about this. Weren't we showing green knives the other day for something?
Uh-oh.
Maybe.
Wasn't there an open tag? I forgot this one.
There you go.
But this is another little advertising knife, just a little different form. It's kind of a watch fob knife. And the covers were all tore up in this one. So I took a piece of like Christmas ribbon, green ribbon, and super glued it in there and then trimmed it around. Then I got some of this gloss glaze stuff from the hobby shop and covered over it. And so I replaced the covers or the inlay, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
So kind of neat. Just a little experiment. I did learn one thing. If you're ever going to, put a piece of paper or glue something down on there, put something over those little rivets first. Because I almost didn't get this knife back open because some of the glue leaked down and I couldn't get the blade open.
Oh, no.
You got to be careful. But yeah. So yeah, there's another little tiny knife. Watch fob knife. And there's no tang stamp on it. So
mini but mighty.
Yep. Mini but mighty.
Yeah, look, I think, it's got a half stop, so it's a quality knife.
Well, I think we do have the answer to that. Ghost Malone is asking, do any of us know anyone that could fix my great-grandpa's knife? It's a dual blade slip joint. One spring is broken. What I need done is the one broken spring and blade taken out and changed. That just might be something for the knife doctor. What do you think?
Yep.
It's highly possible. Now,
another guy, Rusty Knife Lover, is another guy that just might take a look at that and be able to do something with that.
Well, I was kind of thinking of old gunslinger Cal. He might be able to do something like that.
I was going to say he might be on the list for that too. And what do you think, Cal?
Well, I've seen those guys work. They definitely they've got me, on the restoration for now. But that's definitely a goal for mine. I have a couple of patterns that I plan on restoring as well. They're not missing their handles or anything. They're just missing their blades and their springs. So this is a very old cigar knife, and I'm going to repair that one. And I'm going to also repair this old copper. It's not old, but it's a 90s model copper lock that is missing a shield and blades and a spring or a lock back. So that is on my list. I also have the first one I'm probably going to tackle because it's not worth as much. Is I busted apart a old, not old, but a Sodbuster Junior. I plan on putting bone covers on mine. I'm going to do it custom instead of buying one. Just something I want to do. And I'm going to have to remake the blade because when I was taking it apart, the heat treat failed. And,
Oh no!
Yeah, I snapped the blade right there. But I
That's
promise.
about where Tom snapped mine, isn't it, Tom?
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Right. Well, if there was no witnesses, it didn't happen.
That's right. There's no witnesses.
Those are my first goals with repairs.
Yep. So yeah, that would be our short list. Ghost Malone, definitely check those guys out that we mentioned, and I'm sure somebody in that list of awesome knife restorers will be able to help you out. And we're going to get Knife Doctor on this program. You guys are doing the bushcraft this next weekend, right, Terry?
No, I just talked to him a little while ago. He's on his way home.
Okay.
That was this weekend.
Okay, well then let's see if we can get him on for next weekend. Yeah,
You
if he's
got
available.
his email, right?
I don't. I have to go look it up. If it's on his channel, I'll find it.
Can I do a shameless plug, RJ?
Absolutely, Tom.
I just did a video on this, and I apologize to Terry because I really didn't shout him out in the video because I was so super excited that I have the first version ever of the Buck 301 Stockman made by Schrade. And you know it's the version 1 because it's got the slanted bolsters. But anyway, I put up a video yesterday, and I invite everybody to go check out this video. Fascinating history on this version of the 301 Stockman.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Go give that a check out, everyone.
It ain't no problem, Tom. I know you was excited because when it got to his house, the first thing he did is started sending out pictures and texts. So
I did.
He was excited.
Oh man, my hands were shaking. I've been looking for this for years.
Wow.
That is so cool. That is awesome.
Yep. So they first come out, the very first slip joint that Buck come out with was the 301 Stockman, and it was made by Schrade. And so this is the very first version that Schrade made for Buck.
Right.
So it was probably made in 67 or 68.
Very cool. Very, very cool. All right. Well, guys, I think we might as well just end it here. I think we're about pulled all the knives that we had handy. I know I did. I'd have to go back and dig out some more.
I'd have to go buy some more.
Well, we've been right at it for about 3 hours. So
yes, sir, we have. All right. Well, I'm going to thank everybody that has joined us in the chat, and thank you to everybody that rewatches this. If you didn't catch us live or you're catching the end, thank you for watching us and seeing what happens. We do appreciate it. And I thank all of you guys on the panel. I so appreciate you guys being here and your friendship. It means the world to me. So we'll go ahead and cut it off here. Everybody, I hope you have a fantastic week this week coming up. We got a holiday weekend coming up with Veterans Day and stuff, and we will be here next Sunday. We will definitely do a show, and we're going to see if we can get Knife Doctor on here, and that should be good. We'll learn a lot more about knife restoration than we already know.
And I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that.
I am too, because I definitely have some knives I want to fix up.
Yep. I've dabbled in it just a little bit, but yeah, that's something I would really love to be able to do.
I don't know, is that an echo that we're getting, or I think we're okay.
Hey,
All right, guys. Well, we'll see y'all next week. Thanks for watching.
See you, everybody.
See you, everyone. Thank you.